We begin tonight with the bravery and the raw emotion on full display late today at the White House as families, parents who lost children in the deadly school shooting sat just a few feet away from President Trump, pleading for something to be done. And it wasn't only parents who lost sons and daughters in Parkland, Florida. There were families from Newtown, from Columbine, among others. Students who lost friends, one of them saying he could not believe it's just been a week, saying time is frozen along with the pain. The president listening as parent after parent asked the president to do something. One father who lost his daughter asking the president how many schools, how many children have to get shot. The father saying it stops here with this administration. ABC's chief White House correspondent Jonathan Karl leading us off.
For nearly an hour, the president sat, mostly silent, listening to the horrific first-hand accounts of senseless violence. Justin Gruber was hiding in a closet and texting his father as his classmates were gunned down in Parkland, Florida.
I was born into a world where I never got to experience safety and peace. There needs to be a significant change in this country because this has to never happen again. And people should be able to feel that when they go to school, they can be safe.
His father begging the president to do something.
It's not political. It's a human issue. People are dying, and we have to stop this. We have to stop. If he's not old enough to buy a drink, to go and buy a beer, he should not be able to buy a gun at 18 years old. I mean, that's just common sense. We have to do common sense. Please, Mr. Trump, these are things we have to do. We got to do something about this. We cannot have our children die.
Andrew Pollock's 18-year-old daughter, Meadow, was one of the 17 killed at Stoneman Douglas High School last week. Mr. Pollock stood with his sons beside him.
We're here because my daughter has no voice. She was murdered last week, and she was taken from us. Shot 9 times on the 3rd floor. We, as a country, failed our children. This shouldn't happen. We go to the airport. I can't get on a plane with a bottled water, but we leave it. Some animal could walk into a school and shoot our children. It's just not right, and we need to come together as a country and work on what's important, and that's protecting our children in the schools. That's the only thing that matters right now. Everyone has to come together and not think about different laws. We need to come together as a country, not different parties, and figure out how we protect the schools. How many schools, how many children have to get shot? It stops here with this administration and me. I'm not gonna sleep until it's fixed. All these school shootings, it doesn't make sense. Fix it. It should have been one school shooting, and we should have fixed it. And I'm pissed, because my daughter I'm not going to see again. She's not here. She's not here. She's in North Lauderdale at whatever it is, King David Cemetery. That's where I go to see my kid now. And it stops. We all work together and come up with the right idea, and it's school safety. That's it. No other discussions. Security, whatever we have to do. Get the right people, the consultants. These are our commodities, man. I'm never going to see my kid again. I want you all to know that. Never, ever will I see my kid. That's how I want it to sink in. It's eternity. My beautiful daughter, I'm never going to see again. And it's simple. It's not, we could fix it.
Samuel Zeif was texting with his brother a floor above as the gunman murdered one of their classmates.
I turned 18 the day after. Woke up to the news that my best friend was gone. And I don't understand why I could still go in a store and buy a weapon of war, an AR. I was reading today that a person 20 years old walked into a store and bought an AR-15 in 5 minutes with an expired ID. How is it that easy to buy this type of weapon? How do we not stop this after Columbine, after Sandy Hook? I'm sitting with a mother that lost her son.
Then the president heard from Nicole Hockley, whose 6-year-old son Dylan was among the 20 children murdered in Sandy Hook.
This is not difficult. These deaths are preventable. And I implore you, consider your own children. You don't want to be me. No parent does. And you have the ability to make a difference and save lives today. Please don't waste this.
After the stories were told, the president asked for ideas to stop the violence in schools.
And one possible solution, which may not be very popular, would be to have people in the school, teachers, administrators, who have volunteered to have a firearm safely locked in the classroom, who are given training throughout the year.
It was an idea the president seemed to like. He brought up assistant coach Aaron Feis, who died shielding his students from gunfire last week.
If the coach had a firearm in his locker when he ran at this guy, that coach was very brave. Saved a lot of lives, I suspect. But if he had a firearm, he wouldn't have had to run. He would have shot, and that would have been the end of it.
The president asked for a show of hands.
So, does anybody like that idea here? Does anybody like it? Right? Yes? For Meadow, your beautiful Meadow. We talked about that. And do people feel strongly against it? Anybody? Anybody? Strongly against it? All right. I mean, look, we can understand both sides of it. And certainly it's controversial. But we'll study that along with many other ideas.
But the father of one of the Sandy Hook victims stood up, saying his wife is a teacher, and this is just too much pressure.
And she will tell you that school teachers have more than enough responsibilities right now than to have the awesome responsibility of lethal force to take a life.
And Jon Karl joins us now from the White House. John, just a remarkable and moving scene. We were all watching in silence in the newsroom, along with millions of Americans at home late today. A very rare thing to invite so many families to the White House to get that kind of time with the president, but it also invites considerable pressure now to act.
An incredibly powerful scene, David. Although the president was silent for most of it, he did talk about potential actions on guns. He vowed to improve the background check system. And then he said that he is, quote, looking very strongly at raising the age of purchase. As you know, right now, you just need to be 18 to buy an AR-15 assault weapon. He is considering raising that age to 21. That is something that may put him right up against the NRA. The NRA is already out with a statement opposing that. But as the president said on that question of pressure, David, the world is watching.